All right, AJT fam, we're going to do a quick recap here, and then I'll go to lunch and run the errands I've got to run. But question I have for you today, are you focusing on the wrong things? Okay, are you focusing on what you're spending and not on what you're going to be able to make from that investment you're making? That's very important. Very, very important. I talked to at least two prospective members a week, and all they're focusing on is what they could be losing. They're not focusing on what they could be gaining, because this business is about investing first to realize the gains on the back end. All right, if you're willing to do that in the market, you should be willing to do that on yourself. And I'm only going to talk about me. I'm not talking about anybody else right now. But if you look at the investment for what you would spend for a lifetime membership here, you got to think about what our focus is and how that can help you be profitable from now until the end of your trading. Because this never expires. It doesn't run out of time. So you have to think about all of this stuff when you go to invest in this community. You get unlimited resources, unlimited time. What are you going to lose? So you've got to look in the mirror and think about, what am I going to gain from this experience? If you think about what you may lose, you've already lost. And it's the same thing in trading. It's what I've been trying to get you guys to focus on over and over and over again. Some of you have been taught backwards. And I understand that. Most people believe in that because it makes sense to them based on their, regular or traditional way of thinking. Okay, but you can't think that way. Okay, you've got to think about what you're going to gain. When I look at a stock, I look at the profit potential first. If it's got some pretty good profit potential, then I look at what I have to risk in order to get that. And if the risk makes sense to me, I'm going to take the trade. It's just that simple. It's what professional traders do. And that's what I'm trying to teach you. You guys can have that same mindset, have the same level of confidence, but you got to focus on the right things and not the wrong things, not the things that's going to take you backwards. All right, so let's take a look at our trades from today. Well, AEHR, this is a cat trade from the other day, from them walking across my keyboard, and that's what they did. But here is Meta. This is a continuation. You see how we bounced, rejected the 9, came down. Once we lost the previous low, and we just started locking in profits. 365, 363. But here, the linear regression channel. But here's where I messed up. Okay, here's 100% where I messed up. I accidentally put in the wrong amount to cover, and I ended up long. So I was like, well, instead of just being long 100 shares or so, might as well add and make it a full size, and let's start taking profit as we bounce. And if it doesn't bounce, I can always just bail out at break even. We did get one profit target, and then we closed out. So all of this was all profit. all profits. So I'm happy with that. ENPH, we jumped on it this morning. Soon as we took out the pre-market low, we got in. It kind of chopped around a little bit, then finally got the linear regression channel, got to the 5-day moving average, got down to 111. My final target was 110, but it bounced and took out the last little piece. This was a profit stop. I didn't let it go all the way back to break even. I did lock in profit here. So really nice trade on ENPH. You know, just when I'm about to let it go, it, you know, redeems itself and pulls itself back in. So the next trade I took was NVDA, and this was the hiccup this morning. I got in NVDA here, and you could see we've got some, here's the 5-minute open range high. I bought as we went back through the pre-market high. And you could see it turned around and the stock failed. So what happened, I walked away and I came back in like 5 minutes. The bottom had fallen out of the stock and the market and everything else. Like I said, it's just been a choppy day. So I'm not going to panic. I'm going to look and see, okay, what can I do to make this right? What can I do to fix this? If not, if there's no opportunity, then we just take it off and move on. So I'm looking here and I'm like, well, if it rejects the, I'm looking here, and if it rejects the 200, or losing the 200, if it bounces off of it, once it confirms, I'm jumping in. I'm not worried about this. I'm looking for it to trade right through it like it did here on the way up. I'm adding, and even though if it doesn't work, it's not gonna hurt me any worse than if I had just bailed out. So I got in, and sure enough, we lost the 200 period moving average. I got out, and then I went short once we went red on the day. Was able to get profit here, stop out, break even. Waited for it to break back through again. Got short, got profit, and ended up stopping at break even. And that's pretty much, you know, my day. That's where I'm at right now. Some really, really good trades, base hits, respecting, I can't really complain. Cannot really complain. So that wraps up my morning. I hope you guys had a great morning too. And I will see you guys after lunch.